Very good morning to all of you. Today we are discussed about the circuit breakers. In my previous lecture, we were discussed about the circuit breaker. What do you mean by this circuit breaker? What are the various components, or you can say that what are the various parts of the circuit breaker, and how does circuit breaker operates? And when the circuit breaker operates, there is some arc occur in the circuit breaker between the contacts, and if you have to remove this arc as soon as possible. Now today we were discussed about circuit breaker again, that with the help of some, you can say that the yeah, in a textbook form. So here you can see that introduction part, during the operation of the power system, it is often desirable and necessary to switch off or switch on the various equipments like transmission lines, distributors, generating stations, etc., under normal as well as abnormal conditions. In earlier days, we can say that if a few days late before, this function of switching on or switching off is done with the help of a fuse in series with the circuit. So here the fuse will basically act as a protecting device which will turn off when there is a fault occur in the system, and after the removal of the fault we can replace the fuse and our circuit will becomes as such as it can operate. However, you can say that the fuse has certain disadvantages. The main two disadvantages of the fuse is that when a fuse blows out, that means when a fault occur in the system, the fuse get melted off, and when it get melted off, it takes certain time to replace it and to restore the supply to the consumer. So the, you can say that one of the most important, or the one of the most important disadvantage of the fuse is that thing, when under faulty condition the fuse get you can say that blows out, or when the fuse gets operated so that your faulty system is get isolated from the healthy system. So after the removal of the fault, after the clearance of the fault, it takes certain time to make it again a fuse, and to connect your healthy system with the faulty system. So this is the one of the, you can say that the disadvantage of the fuse. Secondly, the fuse cannot successfully interrupt heavy fault current. Then as a result from the fault on the modern high voltage and large capacity circuits. That means the fuse has a limiting capacity of high currents. It cannot limit a very high current because it has a certain capacity. So this is the second disadvantage of the fuse. So due to these disadvantage, the use of switches and fuses is limited to only you can say that the small voltage or a small current. But with the advancement in the power system, lines and other equipment which are operated at a very high voltage and at a very high current, normally in today's scenario when the working voltage is about 132 kV, 220 kV, 440 kV or 880 kV, these are very high voltage, you can say that the substation, these are very high voltage grid station. And if you use a fuse here as a protecting device to interrupt, to you can say that to inoculate our faulty system with the healthy system, these fuses cannot handle this high voltage and the high current. So in order to limit this this condition, that is in order to withstand the high voltage or a high current, now we are using you can say that the circuit breakers. Now what do you circuit breaker, that we have already explained in my previous lecture. A circuit breaker can make or a break a circuit either manually or automatically under all the conditions, and the conditions are at no load, at full load, at short circuit condition. So you can say that a circuit breaker is nothing. A circuit breaker is just like a switch. It is just like a fuse that can operate both manually as well as automatically, that can also operate under all the conditions, that is at full load condition, that is at no load condition, or even at a short circuit condition. The characteristics of the circuit breaker has made it a very useful equipment for switching protection of various part of the power system. So now we will discuss about that how a circuit breaker can operate, that I had also explained in my previous lecture. Today we can also thinking about the circuit breaker. Now you can see this is the definition of the circuit breaker. A circuit breaker is a piece of equipment which can make or break a circuit either manually or by remote control under normal conditions. This is the one, you can say that the line or the one definition of the circuit breaker, that a circuit breaker is an equipment that can make or break a circuit either manually or automatically. Automatically means by remote control under normal conditions. It can break a circuit automatically under faulty condition. It can make circuit either manually or remote control under faulty condition. So you can say that a circuit breaker is just like a switch. It can make, it can break a circuit under normal conditions as well as faulty conditions. So whenever there is a fault occur in the system, that means whenever there is a faulty system, this circuit breaker is automatically operated and isolate the your faulty system with the healthy system. This is one, you can say that the characteristics, or you can say that the one work that the circuit breaker has done. Second thing, if there is no fault occur in the system, but you have to isolate your system for general, you can say that maintenance point of view, for general checkup point of view, so you have to break the circuit. So in that condition, a circuit breaker is also used to isolate the system so that your maintenance process will be done. And in this case, the circuit breaker can operate manually. That is why the definition says a circuit breaker can operate both in conditions, normal conditions as well as faulty condition. The only difference is that thing, under normal condition, the circuit breaker operates manually, and under faulty condition, the circuit breaker can operate automatically. I think you can just get an idea that how a circuit breaker can operate. Also, it can be written down, thus a circuit breaker incorporates manual as well as automatic control for switching function. The lateral control employs relays and operate under faulty conditions, and the mechanism of the circuit breaker under faulty conditions now we were discussed. Now here it can be write down the operating principle, that how a circuit breaker can operate. I can discuss this thing in my previous video that it can be uploaded on YouTube. You can just go to that video and see you can say that by animated view that how a circuit breaker can operate. Now, today we will discuss that in a more advanced way, that is what is the operating principle of the circuit breaker. A circuit breaker essentially consists of two main parts. One is called as the fixed contact as well as the moving contact. And in technical term, these fixed contacts as well as the moving contacts are basically called as electrodes. Under normal operating condition, that means under a no fault condition, normal operating condition, these contacts remain closed and will not open automatically until and unless a system becomes faulty. That means under normal conditions, when there is no fault in the system, these two contacts are, you can say that remain closed and it will not open until and unless the fault will occur. Of course, these contacts can be opened manually or by remote control whenever desired. That means I had already explained to you, under some condition there is no fault occur in the system, but you have to isolate the system for general maintenance, for general checkup and all that. And for that condition, you have to isolate your system. And for isolation of systems, you have to operate the circuit breaker manually. So when you have to operate the circuit breaker manually, in that case, both the contacts, that is the fixed contact as well as the moving contacts, are separated out with the help of some manual mechanism, or you can say that with the help of some remote control mechanism. But when a fault occurs on any part of the system, the trip coil of the circuit breaker is get energized and the moving contacts are pulled apart by some mechanism, and thus the circuit breaker cannot operate. So I can also tell you in my previous lecture that in case of a circuit breaker, basically we are using electromechanical coil, or we can use an electromagnet. So whenever there is a fault occur in the system, and in that case, the circuit breaker has to be operated in a automatic condition. So what will happen when there is a fault occur in the system? There is a sudden rise in the fault current. When the sudden rise in the fault current takes place, this high current get energize the electromagnet, and the electromagnet will become as magnet, and due to the magnetic force of attraction or the repulsion, your moving contacts are separated out with the fixed contact, and in thus your circuit breaker can operate. So you can see that under normal operating conditions, you have to separate out the moving contact as well as the fixed contact by the means of a certain manual mechanism. In that case, the circuit breaker operates. But whenever the fault occur in the system due to high current that flows through the circuit breaker, the electromagnet or the electromagnetic coil get energized, and when this coil get energized, it can separate the contacts of the moving contact with the fixed contact, and hence the circuit breaker starts operating. Okay. But one of the most important thing that here you have to discuss is that thing, when the contacts of the circuit breaker are separated, that means whenever the fault occur in the system, you can say that when the contacts of the circuit breaker are separated under faulty condition. So whenever there is a fault occur in the system due to this electromagnetic coil energized, your moving contact as well as your fixed contacts are get separated out. An arc is struck between them. The current is then able to continue until the discharge occur cases. The production of arc not only delays the current interruption process, but it also generate enormous heat, which causes damage to the system or to the circuit breaker itself. So you can see that I had also already explained in my previous video. Whenever the circuit breaker can operate under faulty condition, that means whenever there is a fault occur in the system, the moving contact and the fixed contacts are get separated out. The moment they get separated out, a arc is generally set up in these two contacts due to very high current occur in the circuit breaker. So due to this high, you can say that the arc struck between these two contacts, that there is a lot of heat produced in the circuit breaker, and this heat will damage the system as well as it will damage to the circuit breaker. So you can say that the main problem in the circuit breaker is to the extinguish the arc within the shortest possible time, so that heat generated by it may not reaches to the dangerous value. So means what you have to discuss here, that whenever the moving contact as well as the fixed contacts of the circuit breakers are get separated out under faulty condition, we know a arc will generate. And when the arc will generate, this arc if prolonged to a very long time in the circuit breaker due to high heat, it will lead damage to the system as well as it will lead damage to the circuit breaker. So there is only one thing that you should kept in mind, that whenever under faulty conditions the circuit breaker has to operate, the arc which is generated between the two contacts is to be extinguished within a minimum possible time, so that it cannot, you can say that, come to the dangerous value. Okay. So this is here you can discuss that what do you mean by this circuit breaker, why we use circuit breaker. So here we can see that in ancient times, or if in a few days back, we are basically use the fuses. But the fuses has a two main disadvantages. Number one, it will take some time to restore the power supply to the consumer. Second, it cannot handle a high current or a high voltage. So in order to overcome this thing, we are basically use a circuit breaker. So when we use a circuit breaker is basically again a switching device, but only difference is that thing, it can operate manually as well as automatically. Manually it can operate under no fault condition, under normal condition, and automatically it can operate under faulty condition. So you can see that how the circuit breaker can operate. And when the circuit breaker can operate, the only one important thing that occurs in the contacts of the circuit breaker is the arc. And if you not extinguish the arc within a shortest possible time, it will let damage to the circuit breaker. Okay, clear? Now, before discussing about that, the arc phenomena, you have to discuss about the classification of the circuit breaker. You know, what do you mean by circuit breaker? How does circuit breaker operates? What is the working principle of the circuit breaker? Now, before discussing, you see that in case of a circuit breaker, when the contacts can open, an arc will struck. So you have to extinguish the arc. Now, how does the arc can be extinguished? That we will discuss in our later lectures. But first of all, you must know that what are the various types of circuit breaker, what is the classification of the circuit breaker, and under this you have you can say that the classification of the circuit breaker. So the circuit breaker can be classified according to the number of ways. For example, if I talk about according to the arc quenching medium, that means when the circuit breaker has to operate, an arc is generated, and I had also tell you that you have to quench this arc with the minimum possible shortest time, so that the heat produced in the circuit breaker cannot lead to damage the system as well as the circuit breaker. So depending upon the arc quenching medium, we are classify the circuit breaker in 5 ways. Like we have oil circuit breaker, like we have air circuit breaker, like we have air blast circuit breaker, we have SF6, that is called as sulfur hexafluoride circuit breaker, and you have a vacuum circuit breaker. So here you can see that in all the 5 types of circuit breaker, we are using certain media to quench the arc which is generated between the fixed contact as well as the moving contact. So if I say about oil circuit breaker, here we can use oil to extinguish the arc. We can use air brake circuit breaker. We can use air blast circuit breaker. We can use sulfur hexafluoride. This is also called as the gas circuit breaker, in which we are using a sulfur hexafluoride gas to quench the arc within a minimum possible shortest time, so that the heat generated in the circuit breaker cannot lead to the very high temperature. Also, you have a vacuum circuit breaker. So according to the arc quenching media, we are classify the circuit breaker into 5 categories: oil, air brake, air blast, SF6, as well as vacuum circuit breaker. Now, if you talk about the external design, if I talk about like external circuit design, the circuit breaker can classify as dead tank type and live tank type. According to the service required, the circuit breakers can classify as outdoor circuit breakers, and you have indoor circuit breaker. Like you can use your circuit breaker inside your homes, and these type of circuit breakers are basically called as MCBs, miniature circuit breakers, having low current rating capacity. There is no arc generated between these two contacts. But if I talk about the circuit breaker that are used in generating station, grid station, substation, so these circuit breakers are basically called as your outdoor circuit breakers. Circuit breaker can also classify according to the operating mechanism. Operating mechanism means how the contacts of the fixed contact and the moving contact can separate it out. You can see in my previous video, we are using a spring to move the moving contacts apart from the fixed contact. So if we use a spring mechanism, then it is called as spring operated circuit breaker. If you use pneumatic operated circuit breaker, if you use a media as a pneumatic, so it is called as a pneumatic controlled circuit breaker. And if you use hydraulic media, you can use, it is called as the hydraulic circuit breaker. So depending upon which type of media you can use to separate the moving contacts as well as the fixed contacts in a circuit breaker, the circuit breakers are classified as spring operated, pneumatic operated, as well as hydraulic operated. Circuit breaker, according to the voltage level, what type of voltage level it can handle. So accordingly, the circuit breakers can classify, like you have extra high voltage circuit breaker, ultra high voltage circuit breaker, high voltage circuit breaker, medium voltage circuit breaker, and low voltage circuit breaker. So here the circuit breakers are classified according to the voltage level. If you have a circuit breaker above 765 kVA, so these type of circuit breakers are basically called as extra high voltage circuit breaker. If you have to operate a circuit breaker in between 300 kV to 765 kV, in that case the circuit breaker is known as ultra high voltage circuit breaker. And likewise, we have high voltage circuit breaker, we have medium voltage circuit breaker, and you have low voltage circuit breaker. So depending upon, you can say that the various type, we can classify the circuit breaker. I can again repeat, depending upon the arc quenching medium, because this type of question is frequently asked in your university exams, and also this type of question is frequently asked in your competitive exam, that how the circuit breaker can classify it. So you must be known that circuit breaker can classify according to the media of arc quenching. It can be classified according to the design. It can be classified according to the service. It can be classified according to the operating mechanism used, and it can be classified according to the type of the voltage required. Okay, so this is all about related to the today's lecture. So in tomorrow we will discuss about arc quenching phenomena, how the arc can quench between the two contacts of the moving as well as the fixed contact, and after that we will discuss about oil circuit breaker, air mixer circuit breaker, air blast circuit breaker, SF6 circuit breaker, as well as your vacuum circuit breaker. Okay, so anybody having any doubt related to the today lecture, now he or she can ask me. Yeah, anybody having any doubt? Is it clear to all of you?
Yes, sir.
सर you told minimum oil circuit breaker. सर उसमें लिखा नहीं था but types में.
Minimum oil means we are using an oil circuit breaker, na? That is, we are using oil circuit breaker. In under oil circuit breaker, you have minimum oil circuit breaker. That how much quantity of the oil is used inside the circuit breaker to quench the arc. That is called as the minimum oil circuit breaker.
Okay, sir.
Okay.
सर ऑटोमेटिकली और मैनुअली के बारे में बोलना सर, ये सर्किट ब्रेकर
automatically means whenever there is a fault occur in the system. So when the fault occur in the system, that means a high current enter in the circuit breaker, and when this high current enter into the circuit breaker, so in between the moving contact and the fixed contact, there is one electromechanical coil occurs. There is one electromagnet occur. This electromagnet get energized, and it can separate the moving contacts with the fixed contact, and the circuit breaker can operate. So this is called as automatic opening of a circuit breaker. And manually operating circuit breaker means wahi circuit breaker, but under that thing no fault occur in the system, so manually you can operate the contacts. So under faulty conditions, circuit breaker can operate automatically, but under unfaulty conditions it can operate as manually. So that is why we can say that a circuit breaker can operate both manually as well as automatically.
Okay, sir.
Okay.
Sir, what is meant by the pneumatic?
Pneumatic is basically, you can say that a mixture of, you can say that some you can say high pressure, where we can use in case of an hydraulics. If you called about hydraulics, in hydraulics we are basically use an oil. So oil की वजह से आपके जो contacts हैं वो open करते हैं. जब heavy duty होती है, high applications होती है, तो हम लोग उसमें hydraulic use करते हैं. Pneumatic में क्या होता है, आपका high pressure की वजह से हम लोग अपने contacts को open करते हैं.
Okay, sir.
Clear?
Clear, sir.
Okay, bache. So in next lectures we were discussed about today's lecture. You are see that when the contacts can open, arc is generated between these two contacts, and I can tell you that you have to extinguish this arc in a minimum possible shortest time, so that the temperature is not increased. So that based upon how the arc can be quenched, you are using oil circuit breaker, SF6, vacuum, air, and all that. Now in coming lecture we can see that how the arc can quench. हम arc को किस तरीके से बंद कर सकते हैं circuit breaker में, and after that we have discussed every type of circuit breaker. Okay, so now it's the time for marking the attendance. I will share a Google form link regarding the attendance in the chat box. So all of you are requested to please mark the attendance before leaving this platform, and those who are marked their attendance, they can leave now. Thank you so much for today's lecture.